Ready, set, go, Sammy. You all set?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I've ever done that before. I just had to take a leak.
Just no chatting.
And then you guys are laughing at me like, what's up?
Life's good. Life's good. Hi.
It's probably the second or third time in a month he's gone on air and told everybody he's taking a leak.
It's so
I'm like,
funny.
is there a better TV, radio way of doing that, JB?
I don't know. This is, we like to be real and authentic and connect
Oh
with
yeah,
viewers.
oh yeah, no question about that. And our Sammy's leading the way.
Sorry, guys.
Welcome aboard. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Season 5, Leaf Hour edition. Frank the Tank is here. Yeah. Derek Brandeo, the Kypreos, Justin Bourne, and yours truly, Sammy McKee. We are live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan, in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. You can always catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube when you can't get us live. Game day here.
Yeah, I would like to apologize. I was late. I was just.
You were legitimately
I was
10
just
seconds.
busy rewatching the Andre Markov ceremony, so I just had to get in.
Why are you taking a run at the Montreal Canadiens?
I'm not. I'm not
Andre
taking a run.
Markov?
I'm not taking a run at it. I'm not taking a run at it.
People were annoyed in Montreal that we didn't hear at Sportsnet make a bigger deal show it.
Yeah, and why was that?
Andre Markov?
Yeah.
We should have shown that for a
Yeah,
national.
should have showed him way more respect. Him and the Montreal
National-
Canadiens, way more respect. You go on national television, you say, I want more airtime. They chop off Andre Markov.
Yeah.
That's what happened last night.
I think he's the epitome of a guy who had a great career in a local market where they would love him, where the Vancouver Canucks fans would be like, who's that? He a two-time All-Star?
But he played 16 years.
But he had a great career. I'm not
Awesome
diminishing the career he had. He had an unbelievable career.
So, honor it. He wouldn't be the first guy that we showed national being honored.
I mean, how many times do we show these ceremonies? I mean, like that.
We do. That's what you do now. You show them. You show on videos. Yeah.
This guy's just placating to the Montreal.
Sammy, you crap all over the Montreal Canadiens, and I've had it.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it.
Well, they didn't like my tweet. Oh, boy, they're not mad
Listen,
at having me.
he's one of the highest scoring Montreal Canadiens in history.
Yeah, okay.
On
I'm not,
defense.
like I said, nothing against him.
But you didn't want to show it live.
No, people want to know about this game because they don't follow it like a local audience who are like, oh, okay, who's in the game? The Jets? Sure.
You love it. You love it.
I'm good. We'll pick this up on the national. Okay?
No, I
This
think we
is
can
Leaf
just leave
Hour
it.
edition.
I think we just leave it.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we don't want
Sorry,
to dig
it
you.
was my bad bringing it up. I'm
You're
sorry.
the one that brought it
I
up.
know. I was being a rude guy.
Okay. It isn't the Montreal Canadiens tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's the Carolina Hurricanes, a much deeper team, a team that for the last, I don't know how many years has been in contention. They can't quite get over the hump to a Stanley Cup final, but it just seems like they're so close.
Yeah,
and still remain that way.
Yeah, I mean, they go to the second round of the playoffs every year. Pretty impressive stuff, but kind of when it comes to the guys with the top-end talent, the elite guys, which is why they went out and got Rantanen, they seem to fall short. You look at their stats this year. They are a playoff team, and they have no players who are a point per game, which is crazy to be as good as they are that consistently without that elite talent.
Yeah, it just feels like their destiny is to probably go through the Atlantic and then go through the Metropolitan and then meet up with the Atlantic winner that's happened to be the Florida Panthers the past couple of years, and they've been nowhere close to those guys, got blown off the ice. But I would say that this season, if you're a Carolina Hurricanes fan, much like if I'm going to make a parallel here, much like a Buffalo Bills fan in the NFL, feels like a lot of the normal power heavyweight guys aren't around. And this may actually be a year where you can look at the Eastern Conference and say, hey, we got a real shot this year.
They got a good as chance as anyone this year. Absolutely.
Like, you think about Florida's the real boogeyman and they're last place. Like, I mean, they may round into form, but Carolina's got a chance. This feels like it could be it. So we'll see.
We talked briefly about signature games, marquee games. This one certainly feels like the truest test up until now for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Does it? You like Carolina as the measuring stick?
I think yes for the Leafs now to figure out if in a week how much ground did they get back in terms of looking more like a team that can push and contend, and at times look like the team that we saw last year, which could defend, block shots, and momentum swings fast with quick breakout. I think tonight's a night that we can look at it and go, okay, let's see how far you guys have come in a week and a half.
Yeah, and Carolina's won a couple games in a row. They've been home for a little bit here. Had, I think, 3 days between games. So they're rested. They're home. They're ready to play.
They're on a 7-game homestand.
Yeah.
So I think every team that's in a playoff spot right now is the measuring stick game for the Leafs. I mean, they really need to accumulate points. It's at the end of a trip here. It's a big game for the Leafs. I don't know how big of a game it is for the Carolina Hurricanes, which may work in the Leafs' favor or whatever. They feel like they have a consistent effort. The Canes, always the same game they play, but I think it's a big one for the Leafs. Yeah. Like, I think it'll tell you a lot about whether this so-called, turnaround or whatever you want to call it, 3 or 4 wins is actually something, or they're just playing bad teams.
All right, let's go to Craig Berube on the matchup with the Canes tonight. Clip 1.
Yeah, urgency, I think, just coming out and being urgent right away. We know how they play, and they're going to come at you. And, again, it's about beating the pressure tonight, a lot like Florida. So it's got a good opportunity for our team. Just about starting the game on time and being urgent right away and making strong plays with the puck.
Carolina missing Jacob Slavin. He's been out for, 16 games or something.
What is going on there?
Lower body injury of some kind. They're playing it really careful with him. They said they don't want him to have any setbacks, and kind of looking towards playoffs and making sure they're at full strength then. So Slavin will be out.
Former Carolina Hurricane and 3-time Stanley Cup champion Justin Williams will join us in about, 23 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what he's going to tell us on Slavin, but he can certainly tell us how much they miss him. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no doubt, right? This guy's probably the best defensive D-man in the NHL, I think a lot of people would say. So
I think the guy that really, at the Four Nations face-off last year, jumped out to me as like, oh my God. This guy,
how good is he?
It was just like he played half the game and you could never get by him. And he made a great defensive play on Sidney Crosby in the gold medal game where he smacked it away right as he was about to shoot it in the net. So he's one of those guys that you're really going to miss.
And Carolina is still, even with that, first in the Metro in goals allowed. So they've not given up very much even without him. So when he comes back in, they play a team game, man. They're tough to score on. Ehlers plays his 700th game tonight for them. His first year there, he's starting to warm up a little bit. So they're a good team.
And they're also a team that seems like they're a lot more willing now to go out there and spend money and make impact moves. The Keandre Miller one was interesting in terms of the look that he had the last few years with the Rangers. He wasn't trending like he did earlier in his career, and there was no commitment from the Rangers with him, either on a contract or ice time, or that you're the core guy of our future. They just said, no, we'll move you to Carolina. And then the next thing you know, he's signing, a $60 million contract?
Yeah. They use him all the time, 24 minutes a game, roughly. He's been fantastic for them. Just put him in a better spot, I guess. You saw Seth Jones go to Florida and become a different guy on a good team. And Miller's kind of done that for Carolina. That's been a good find. That was an interesting one because of how they got him out of there, which was offer sheet threat, right? Like, we're going to do this if we don't do a trade, so let's just do a trade sort of thing.
All right. We'll discuss if the Leafs have truly turned a corner from what we've seen in a short period of time, but let's go to Craig Berube's thoughts on that. Clip 2.
I don't know. It's probably a little early. I mean, we're playing some lot better hockey, and just got to keep building on it. Can't take your foot off the gas, we got to keep staying with it and keep pushing here.
Yeah. I think it's just a bigger question about that. If they have turned a corner, I agree with the coach. I think it's too early.
No changes to the lineup.
0.
So they intend to find out if the lineup is the reason that it's going well. Matthias Michelli and Calle Yarncroke.
Yeah. Is it too early, though, guys, really?
To know if they've turned a corner?
Yeah.
You tell us you don't think so?
I'm saying that I think they have a little bit with their competitiveness and their sense of urgency, and like there's no more time to wait to find out. You better say yes, because you can't go and win one and lose one right now.
Yeah, but if they haven't turned the corner and he comes out and says, we've turned a corner, and they lose a game tonight, which I don't think we think
then
they're
you turn
win.
around and say we haven't turned a corner yet.
Just keep turning and unturning the corners based on wins and losses.
It's a NASCAR track. Just keep going around.
I'm just saying that there is a sense of urgency here to not drop 2 or 3 games now. You gotta find a way to win 2 out of 3, and this goes to 4 out of 6, does it not? With a win tonight.
Yeah, they're
Right?
three of their last 4, so 4 out of 5. Right?
This is the last one. They come home.
Oh,
Right?
you're talking about the road trip.
Yeah, for the road trip.
Okay, yeah.
So this would be 4-6 on the road trip.
Yeah.
Like that's a fork in the road trip, right? Because you go 3-3 and it's like not good enough. 3-3 is not good enough.
Yeah, they
4-2 is good enough. That's how big this game is
It
tonight.
does feel like a big difference, and even though
But I will
it's
say
2-point difference.
That is like moving the goalposts on what we established for this trip going into it, which was what's a good road
Yeah.
trip for them. And it's like,
3-3 was no good.
well, I was fine. 3-3 is tread water till you find it. There's a tough trip.
3-3, depending on what Florida does or Buffalo does tonight, could find you back in last place.
Yeah, even better than 4-2 is 5-1.
Yeah.
And 6-0 would have been awesome.
I would
But you're not
love
getting there.
6-0.
But that ship sailed.
Yes.
But 4-2 is still there for you.
Sure, it would be definitely better than losing. that is the goal of the hockey match tonight for sure for the Leafs.
But I think tonight, if the Leafs happen to win tonight, I think there will be a lot of fans and maybe media. I don't know what you consider
Jumping back on the bandwagon.
I think this is a bandwagon game.
Yeah.
For sure. I think if they win tonight, coming home for the Montreal Canadiens on a Saturday night,
I do too. Because
and they play well again. If it doesn't look like the Columbus game where they just get absolutely filled in and Joseph Woll steals it.
I don't think the Leafs are going to win tonight and have Carolina look like Florida. Right?
Like, do you think they're going to be better than Florida?
They're going to be better.
Yeah.
They're going to be better. And if a win against a better team, a deeper team, a more competitive team, is that much more belief that I'm back.
I think it's pretty rare. I would say if they win tonight, it's not going to look like it did against Florida. It's going to be road win.
Exactly.
Close game, outshot, get some saves.
It'll take more than just Joseph Woll standing on his head. It's going to take a great defensive effort. It's going to take 2 or 3 guys having first and second star games, whether it is Willie, whether it's Austin, whether it's JT and Scotty Lawton, or it's going to take. There's going to be a lot more faces on this win than just Joseph Woll.
Why don't we go to Berube, clip 3 on the decision to go back to Woll?
He had a day yesterday, and he's been rolling good, and he's feeling good. So I think, when you communicate with him and how he's feeling, where he's at from a physical standpoint and a mental standpoint, it was a pretty easy decision.
Yeah, he had no choice.
Yeah.
No choice.
No choice.
Especially again
Well,
on a game that
had a choice.
let's see what we got here.
Yeah.
And today I wrote my article in the Toronto Star, basically saying that it's the goaltending in general has turned into a strength, and you hope that Stolarz can come back as soon as possible, and then maybe put the Leafs in a position where they got some real assets to move it as far as the trade deadline.
You're talking about a goalie.
Yeah, move a goalie. Yep.
You know what? I see what you're doing there, and I think I like it.
Well,
I'm just saying there's no assets.
No assets.
So who are you going to move if you have 2 of these guys and people?
But for this to work, Anthony Stolarz, find yourself, bud, and get back in and get a long stretch here. There's a number of reasons why I say this. And of course, in my article today, it's about turning tradable assets in. But it's also to take some heat off of Joseph Woll here. You cannot run this guy 3 out of 4 nights, 3 out of 4 games.
This, by the way, is 100% the stripping your house of copper wire to buy meth of trades you're proposing here.
Buddy, I'm telling you,
we have a strength. Get rid of it.
we have acknowledged that that they're all in.
Yeah.
Right?
This is like winning $20 on a scratch off when you're $10K in debt. You're like, yeah, I gotta go spend that 20.
Get rid of it. Go buy more scratch tickets. That'll do it.
You gotta flip one of them.
You know what's so hard about that, Kip? And I'm sorry I didn't read your article.
No, it's okay.
Is like, Stolarz took a bump and disappeared for all playoffs last year, and the year before, Woll twisted funny at the end of a game and didn't show up for a game 7. Like, of all goalie tandems, it feels really perilous to say.
I know
we only need one of these guys.
I know, but your lineup isn't as strong as it was last year or the year before, and I just think if Stolarz can find his way back in just before Christmas or just after Christmas, there will be enough time for him to get to March where he hopefully doesn't get hurt. And then you got to make some tough decisions.
He's got a modified trade. That's great.
He's got he can get traded to half the league. Yeah, 16. And I don't know what that does, but
presumably the good teams
if
are
Joseph
not
Woll is really the goalie that we think he can be, and when Stolarz is healthy, he's the goalie that we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Can you afford from March on to have one of them sitting on the bench every night?
Yes.
No, but Kip's
No, I don't think so.
reaching in a way that you got to reach right now.
I need help on the blue line. I need the power play, another threat scoring winger that can again be shifted maybe to a power play. Like there's a lot of places I want to go and just sit a valuable asset.
I will
on the
promise
bench.
you the day you trade Anthony Stolarz, the next game, Joseph Woll disappears for 2 months.
Okay, then you know what?
You have if these are gonna be your 2 go-to guys, you have to have a good backup or a 1B because of the issues in the past. You just do.
If you can swallow the healthy part, and you've committed 4 years to Stolarz, and you still have, I think, three more years for.
I think this is the first year of that
this,
contract.
then 2 more for Woll.
Okay, so there's your 3 and 4 year commitment. Then it's time to move Hildeby, and if you can get his stock up,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the stock will come this month, going into Christmas, and then he ends up in the Marlies, and he does some nice things there. He can be your Spencer Knight to go get a Seth Jones.
Oh my God! I mean, Kip, what did you just say?
I'm just saying that's where you want your assets and your stock trajectory to go up.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's
Knight example.
It might be a long shot here, but take a look. You got to get tired of saying no. Easton Cowan's not available.
Totally.
So where are you going to go?
No, that's it. I mean, it's the 2028 first, and you got very little else. The only thing I'd be concerned about is like a team who trades for Stolarz presumably is a playoff team that wants to compete. Presumably, they don't want to give you current talent off their roster. So you kind of need a team like, I don't know, who thinks they're going to be good next year or the year after, is kind of close as that, like a Philly or a, someone in that sort of ballpark.
It might be a Chicago scenario where you're looking at next year.
Because Stolarz, he does have a long enough term that it could be someone out of the playoff mix.
Listen.
All right.
Might be a Hail Mary, but
sometimes those work. They catch them in the end zone once in a while.
But in the meantime,
I also think that we're kind of, I mean, if I do say so here, we are getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Buying.
Like, I mean, for example, like they would be good to have them both healthy as your goalies next year if you're not a playoff team this year. Like, I think it's a little, I think we're still too close to the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings here to be talking about trading away one of the goalies to like get assets in. Is that fair? Like maybe if they win tonight, I'll go back to bandwagon Sammy, but like I'm still not fully on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to argue with you only because they are 2 points out of last in the conference. But, the fact that they're 4 points out of playoffs is,
it's a topsy-turvy Atlantic division.
She's tight.
It's really tight. But no, I don't mind the idea.
Yeah.
But the only reason it terrifies me is because I don't think you're trading Woll. If you're trading one of those two guys, it's Stolarz that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And Woll is just not nearly dependable to have a true backup guy. Like, you need to think about a guy that's going to play 40-ish games for you if you're going to have Woll, and Stolarz is kind of the perfect guy for that.
I think
At a good number.
with Stolarz not even skating here,
Well, I mean, that's another-
Hildeby's in all probability going to play Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you get
God, Saturday night against the Montreal Canadiens.
you
Can play Hildeby?
you cannot
I don't
just
think you are.
go to Joseph Woll every game.
That's why
Tonight
I
was
disagree
perfect.
the two of you when you go,
Tonight
oh,
was
he
perfect.
had to go back to him tonight.
No,
he didn't.
I was making the point earlier this week on this show that tonight was the perfect opportunity to go to Hildeby, where it's a borderline scheduled loss. You're
Didn't
at the end
you
of a
on this very show today say he had to go back to
No.
Woll?
No,
I'm a
he
Woll
did.
guy tonight.
I've been
tonight.
saying
Yeah, I am.
this year that they should just be starting him,
Yeah.
but they've started him in 7 of the 8
No.
games since he's been back. Tonight is a night that you could have gone to.
I'm
Hildeby.
hanging my hat on Hildeby's game Saturday night against Pittsburgh, and that's given me a ton more confidence to go to him Saturday night.
It's funny when you come across a new song that you love and you're like obsessed with it. Some people won't play it too much because they don't want to get sick of it. But I'm just like, give it to me. Well, I love it. Just play it 1,000 times. That's Joseph Woll right now for the Leafs. They're like, this might not work for me in 2 weeks, but let's just keep hammering the Woll button.
Yeah.
Repeat, repeat, repeat. And then one day you wake up and its legs don't work.
I mean, yeah. I just really hope that he is good. I mean, he's been excellent, and he's looked energetic, and he's looked great. Like, I'm not doom casting this, but it just felt like a decent spot to give.
Seems to be like he's in the zone a little bit right now.
He is.
So,
But if you start him tonight, you start him Saturday too. Like, if you're starting him every other night, just do it.
well,
I
again,
don't know.
you got to see what kind of workload and toll tonight takes on Joseph Woll. And
There's going to be some shots tonight. Something tells me.
are they leading the league in shots?
I was just about to check that.
I've heard they've got a
team
pretty
I
aggressive
think-
shot.
I
shots
think
per game played. They are second behind the Colorado Avalanche.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
but they could hope.
They average 33.2 shots per game.
They hope that they could kind of snooze through the game tonight, like they watched Carolina kind of snooze against Calgary the other night. I don't know. It was a 1-0 game.
Just did what they had to
overtime, and I don't think they blitzed a ton of shots at Calgary here.
Yeah.
So can they kind of snooze it up a little bit for 2 games in a row?
do. That'd be nice. Well, we have something on the last game they played against the Leafs. Why is that?
Oh,
Sam?
just because they asked him about it, and I thought it was interesting.
What happened last game? Refresh our listeners.
Blew a big lead. I know that's not a surprising result, but remember they were up in that game, and they kind of went to sleep and got filled in and lost in regulation.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, Seth Jarvis scored in a breakaway, maybe. I can't remember all the details
All
of
right,
it.
let's
but
have a listen.
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Well, we had the lead, and then we kind of just opened things up, and it was like a river hockey game for me. But we can't play that way against this team. Again, you're going to have patience in your game because they're coming so hard with pressure a lot. You're going to have to flip pucks. You're going to have to chip things out. It's a little ugly at times, but that's okay. You just keep staying with it, and you'll get your breaks eventually, and we'll get some looks. So staying more patient than we did last time we played them.
Oh, not the flipping of the puck.
Find me in game time under on Leafs shots whenever we do that for tonight. There's no chance they get to 30, let alone 25.
So this was the second loss of their 5-game losing streak that they had in mid-November, and it was Stankoven and Taylor Hall that scored in the third period. All their players look exactly the same to me. So all their forwards,
Stankoven and Taylor Hall.
they're all the similar height. They all skate fast. They all kind of, outside of them having Brent Burns, and they're just kind of hard to identify. I find I don't know. It's weird.
Robots.
It's a very robotic team.
Yeah.
Very robotic team.
A lot of talk on faceoffs.
Yeah, the Leafs win every faceoff, and they were talking about it today at the practice.
Yeah.
Wall was talking about it a little bit. Does that matter?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's puck possession.
Face-off
It's-
winning percentage.
I like-
Leafs are second in the league, 57%.
Behind who?
Ottawa. Claude Giroux's the best face-off
Yeah.
man in the league by a mile.
Yeah.
So that helps.
You want to hold on to the puck off of a fresh line change for the first 20, 30 seconds. Yes, it's important. Let's have a listen.
Oh, okay.
You don't get
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is they work at it a lot. We work at it with them a lot, and whether it's through video and or just in practice. And I think this team's been a good face-off team for a number of years now.
Yeah, because Tavares.
Tavares and Matthews. Right?
Tavares and Matthews. But Wall's been really good at it, too.
60%, isn't he, JT?
Yeah.
He's got to be top
61.
5. What's funny is as soon as we were talking about this, I looked up their power play winning percentage, and it's 0.1% lower.
Yeah.
When you have an extra guy on the ice, when you just whack it to the boards where you got more guys.
It's been a beef of mine with this team for a long time. Like, win a face-off.
So they're 15th
on a power play.
On the power play and second at even strength.
15th.
Oh, that's infuriating.
That is infuriating.
Well, that's a start to getting a better power play.
They're
Not putting
shorthanded.
a 60 goal scorer on the point. That's not the best way to do it.
Yeah. Do we know if they're doing that tonight? Have you heard?
God, I don't
He
know.
didn't tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't tip his hand.
But they're strong too. Sebastian Aho and Jordan Stahl, Stankoven. I don't know what his work is in a face-off circle.
Jordan
but
Stahl is not having a great year. He's one of the guys that they have an eye on there. It's slowing down a little bit. Like, he can't be a great bottom six guy forever.
no,
He's been that though.
is he still playing like large minutes though, or they brought him down?
Yeah, I don't. They'll figure that out here, but I don't think he's playing large minutes. I'd be surprised if he was.
Orny, you wrote on an article about Matthews.
Yeah, last thing before we go, I followed up on our conversation yesterday on Matthews and just wrote an opinion piece today about what's he going to be this year and what's he going to be going forward? Can he ever be the same player? Because it is conversation, right? Like, where does he go? Jonas Eagle of The Athletic had an article today, a one-on-one conversation with him.
Yeah,
And you read that?
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did, and he feels like he's slowly getting there. Basically, is the gist that I got out of it.
Totally. But it did catch my eye that the way he phrased, he said, I think I'm getting there. He also said, I'd like to get to another level. I think it's turning in the right direction.
And there was mention.
I think.
There was mention of confidence too, right? Did he talk about his confidence, like he's getting more confident? And yeah, to your point with the comments, they leave a little wiggle room there for, it could happen, it could not happen.
Yeah,
kind of
well,
thing.
I think Matthews himself doesn't know. No one is sure. I think everyone agrees it's not getting back to top 5 player in the league. But can he be top 10 guy in the league? What's the number?
That's when you essentially wave the white flag to, well, he won't be a top 5. My first thought is, why not? What is happening here? You're 28. You're not 37.
But what do you mean? Why? You've talked about injuries with us on the show 1,000 times.
Then let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But what I'm not okay with is that we're left guessing here.
That's fine.
We don't get any answers,
Well,
JB.
Even the things I just read to you where he said, I'm turning a corner from what? I feel it coming.
Thank you.
Feel what coming? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
We're all talking about this thing and we're around it. And
like I said,
what's the thing?
If you wanted to come out and be like, my back's not right.
Yeah.
I'm
never gonna do the same.
I'm not. I haven't felt 100%. I don't have as much power as I had in the past,
But it's stronger than it was a month ago.
Even if you didn't say it's my back, if you just said we're working on it, we're working around something that has left me a little bit, vulnerable in my power game, whatever the case is, maybe it's just naive of me to think in 2025 the kids want to reveal anything more or the clubs want to reveal anything more. But whatever's not being revealed is not helping him, and it's not helping the Leaf fans.
But you're talking about perception versus the reality of us knowing doesn't affect on-ice performance. He can give what he gives, and it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yes.
All of us are frustrated by it, but...
Yeah. But if I don't buy into he's just never going to be the same again, and he's just never going to be a top 5
But you do buy
top
into
7.
it. You've said it.
With presently what we see,
Yeah.
I buy into that you're right. It doesn't look like he'll at this present rate, if this is all that there is, he won't get back there.
Right.
But I'm still like, why guy? I'm still like, what's going on here? Why not? I need more.
We all know. We just all know that it's not the same physically.
I told you guys
We
the
all
other
have
day,
eyes we can watch. We know what it looks like.
if he turned around and said tomorrow, listen, I tried, I can't, I need surgery. I'm gonna do this. I think you go, okay, all right, now we get it. Now we understand. But like to sit there and just speculate a guy that's in his prime window to be the greatest athlete he'll ever be, peak, to just wave the white flag and say, well, he's just never going to be a top 5.
Well, but this is,
I'm like,
Kip, he's got some ailment. We agree. You know that. I know that. Sam knows that. He's got something going on that isn't 100%. He's trying to work to play through it. If they felt it needed surgery, they do surgery.
For 1 year. For 1 year, you've tried it.
Well, I mean, they tried it last year and then tried to get healthy this summer.
So 1 year, they've tried to get him healthy.
Yeah.
And it ain't working. Or at least up until this point, if that's the case, we can all come to the conclusion that it isn't working to the standards that we think he set.
But if you watch that game against Florida, scoring chances, breakaway, he plays an awesome hockey game. If he can be that guy plus confidence, he's among the best players in the league like that. There's not many guys who can play that way.
But it's
up against his standards.
It's one game, and it's been what we have watched for 1 year now.
Yeah.
Right? And he's going to, like, to your point, he's going to score 33 goals this year.
If he's healthy, he won't score 33 goals. He'll score more than that.
Yes. And I just think at some point someone's got to sit there, and either it's the Leafs or Austin or somebody's got to go, okay, uncle, right? If it is the injuries, and if it's not the injuries.
But what if it's something that surgery's just not going to fix?
Well, I think if it would help, they would do it. It's tough to know without us being able to have a diagnosis.
We got to
It's
go.
also to have this. I know tough to have this conversation because when he did score 70, you just wanted him to defend and to not be the 70-goal guy. Enough of this. Can you be something else?
I just want. You're right. I do, but I'm not talking about I'm not talking about 70 goals. I'm talking about power. I'm talking about having guys climb on your back and you're not slowing down. He was a force. I'm not talking about 60 or 70 goals, JB. I'm talking about 6'3", 240 pound that just runs like a freight train. That's the guy that
frustrating.
Went and scored 60 goals.
It's frustrating on a knowledge basis that we don't know. But I don't know. I talked about the reality of if this is the guy you have, what do you have? Anyway,
we'll take a quick break. 3-time Stanley Cup champion Justin Williams, former Carolina Hurricane, Mr. Game 7, next when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Let's welcome in 3-time Stanley Cup champion Justin Williams. Justin.
Yes,
later in the show, we got. Is somebody else I don't know, people that can't see Justin on our Zoom camera right now?
Yeah, we got you.
He's in a car. He's in the passenger seat, and I'm hoping he's got a driver.
I've got a driver. I've got a young driver too. So
love it.
We're figuring it out.
Awesome.
We're, got the teenage driver here, and we're gonna figure it out.
So in our national hour, we're gonna have Pierre McGuire on, former Hartford Whaler. We got Ray Ferraro coming on as well, former Hartford Whaler. You dodged the Hartford part, but you get the Plymouth part in you, don't you?
I do have the Plymouth part, yeah, and I kind of almost feel part of the team because of it. I wore the Whaler before, even though it was a different logo, but I think guys get really excited. I know I did when we put on the green and white. It's such an iconic, cool jersey. I think it's one of the most iconic ones that the NHL's ever had.
Listen, it took me about 7 minutes to realize I wasn't watching something on YouTube 20 years ago. because I was going, man, they can do amazing things with digital now, right? Look how bright those colors looked 20 years ago. And it's like, no, that's the current team right now. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we can usually tell the difference though with whenever you find some old NHL hockey on TV and before 2004, you can tell the speed when guys can just ski off of guys, and if a guy gets a step on the defender just brings him right back in with his stick and hooks him back in. Those were the times, weren't they, Kyper?
Oh my God!
Truly an insane era of hockey.
That's the only way I could earn a living.
Just
right?
put your stick in a guy's belly and go for a ride. What a life. Well, we appreciate you joining us. We're looking to get caught up to speed on all things Hurricanes and see where their game's at. Couple wins in a row, midst of a homestand. How are things at for the Canes? Look like they're as in good a spot as anyone in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean, we seem to figure it out. We've got really great leadership, and I think that's something that, obviously all great teams have, all, really good, successful, consistent teams have. They have great leadership, and we certainly have that. Starts with, obviously, our head coach behind the bench, but Jordan Stahl with what he does, and even with guys out of the lineup, you see us, you see Tampa Bay, just kind of figuring out ways to get wins and to accumulate points throughout the season, because we know it's hard getting into the playoffs, and we're doing that well. We've certainly had some injuries. Obviously, Jacob Slavin is a huge piece we've been missing on our back end, but we've been trying to figure it out.
Is there anything that you can tell us about Slavin in terms of, is this long term, or what was the original feeling losing one of the best defensemen in the league right now?
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a little. It's been a unique injury, I guess, is I guess the most I can say. But I've been skating him over the past couple of weeks, and he's recently joined the team, skating with the team. So that'll be a timetable that obviously management and Jacob himself will figure out themselves, and Roddy figuring out how aggressive we are with him coming back and playing the type of minutes when he comes back. So it'll be exciting to get him back in the lineup. I know he's excited just joining the guys back skating after a couple months, and that's always good for the psyche.
How about the goaltending in Carolina? I know Freddie maybe hasn't been where we know he can be. Boosie has been looking good. Kochetkov's still out. I don't know how to say any other names, so feel free to correct me.
No, they've been. Yeah, I think you did it good.
All right.
But Brandon Bussey has been. He's been great. He's been extremely consistent. Everything that we certainly could have asked for, and rewarding him with back-to-back starts. Last week is something that he's earned, and Freddie will go tonight against his old team, and a guy obviously we have a ton of confidence in, but for us, we've had some injuries. We've had some injuries on the in the goaltending, and it's been going on for a couple of years now. It's been hard for them to stay healthy. So we have three with them. We're rolling with them right now, and the guys are responding well, and the goalies are as well. I mean, you want a goalie who wants the net, and all three of them want the net and are upset when they're not in the net. And I think that's something that's almost missed a little bit nowadays, where guys are like, oh, it's okay, let the other guy start. All three guys want that net and want to be in all the time, and that's good for certainly personal competition.
You're watching and listening to Justin Williams, three-time Stanley Cup champion and now special advisor to the GM with the Carolina Hurricanes. Style of play, we know Roddy, we know the type of guy he was as a player, as a coach now that we've watched him over the many years. But the game the other night against Calgary didn't feel or look like, style of play-wise. It was a 0-0 score, and I think both teams had about 15 shots on goal throughout 60 minutes here. But overall, Justin, what can we expect to see out of a team that they're playing tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs, that are still kind of looking rather desperate to dig themselves out of a deep hole?
Yeah, I mean, something you strive for is consistency. It's you wanting the other team to know what's coming their way, and for us, we want Toronto to know that we're going to be hard forechecking team. We're going to be relentless. We're going to be on them every time. We're not going to give them time and space. And we know coming and playing at the Lenovo Center is a tough place for teams to come and play now. We've established that over the past 6-7 years, and obviously a bunch before that. But we're excited with how we can play at home, and we expect Toronto to know what's coming their way tonight.
Justin, your title there, special advisor to the GM. You guys have a guy I would call a unique GM around the league. I think someone who looks at things from a different viewpoint, and I know the way that they approach acquiring players and all that. I'm wondering, do you believe that Carolina is unique in the way that they do business and build their team, or do you think it's, kind of run-of-the-mill stuff? It feels different as an outsider watching the way Carolina conducts business.
Maybe, but in what way do you think it feels different?
Well, I guess people assume it would be more analytically driven than just like, maybe that guy doesn't have the heart. It feels like there's a more thoughtful or rigorous process about players. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely a thoughtful and rigorous process. Obviously, we are more in tune with that side of it. We have our own way we evaluate players. Obviously, analytics is a very important piece of that. But having myself and Rod Brindamore and everyone together, it seems like everyone has an opinion. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Tom Dundon and being the owner and Eric Tulsky being the general manager, they have the final say. But what's really unique about our organization is it doesn't seem like it's just one person. Everyone's got an opinion, I feel like, and everyone's opinion is valued. And I think that's a very important thing when we evaluate players and try to improve. And you can tell, obviously, Eric Tulsky is not shy to swing the bat when he sees something that he's excited about. And that's very exciting as a player. I know, as you guys can probably attest to, being a player in a room, knowing that we will go and try and get the best player available. We will try to improve the team as best we can because we want to win. And yes, we're analytically driven, probably more so than some other teams. But at the same time, we feel we're in a really good spot where we've been able to evaluate and potentially find players that might be undervalued at times.
Just to follow up on that comment about, going after the best players here, it always seemed in the past, especially when Tom took over ownership, that yes, that may be the case, but it comes with a cap. It comes with an internal cap. It comes with, we don't really spend a ton of money on certain players. And then the last, year and a half, 2 years, man, you guys went after Rantanen, and then you went after Marner, and there's a sense that the Carolina Hurricanes are still looking for a big whale. Not an ex-whaler, but a big whale here. It feels like there's been a change, a new, philosophy moving forward. Is that fair to say?
Well, I think it's certainly fair to say, certainly with new ownership, and not taking anything away from our previous owner, Peter Carmanos. But, Carolina was, it's a smaller market, right? It's a smaller market. It's before, the last 7, 8, 9 years, it was hard to get guys to sign here and want to sign here. And now, we're getting guys that are excited to potentially be part of the program. And, going for Mikko Rantanen last year, and obviously having Nikolai Ehlers sign here, and the amount of guys that we've had commit long-term to play in Carolina is great. Peter Carmanos, there was always an internal cap, as you said. You'd start the season, maybe the salary cap was $50 million, maybe our internal salary cap was $40 million. And now it's not that. We spend to the cap if there's players that are available. And we've been very successful with being able to manage our cap and being able to get players to buy into what we're trying to build here, right? We're not trying to be good for 1 year or 2 years. We're trying to be good consistently and give ourselves a chance at a Stanley Cup every single year. And, obviously our success hasn't gotten us all the way to the end, but We've been winning rounds consistently, and we feel if we keep giving ourselves a chance, 1 year is going to be one of our years, and hopefully it's this one.
Well, we're excited about the game tonight. Wish you all the best, Justin. And
Me
really,
too.
really,
No accidents on the way to the rink. Great job.
Great driver.
Oh, yeah. I'll be resting. Yes, she's doing actually a very good job here. I don't know if I'm sure you have listeners right now who have kids that are starting to drive.
Yes.
But, she's doing a very good job, and she's getting me home safe.
Awesome.
That's nice.
Awesome. Justin Williams, everybody, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure.
How about
Yeah.
the moonroof on that vehicle?
Definitely a Tesla. It's quiet.
I thought for sure he was in one of those self-driving cars.
Heavily
Whammo
treated
or
around.
I
Waymo
don't
or
know
whatever.
what they are. They're all in California now.
They're
Just-
Waymo or Whammo or something.
They're Waymo.
I saw a video of one that like drove through a like active crime situation. Like the guy was like on his hands and the car just like took a left. Anyways,
Sounds like the number one accident related to that is when people get out of the car, like people just opening doors and into bike lanes and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, sounds fun.
I riding in a Tesla, it's very quiet. Gives me like it feels like I'm riding a computer. Anyways, didn't mean to do a Tesla computer.
All right.
Kip's like, you done?
Who wants to win a bunch of cash while doing the best thing this holiday season? Sportsnet 590 The Fan is all in supporting the 50-50 Fortune for Sick Kids. It's 50-50, so the more money we raise, the more kids we can help, and the more holiday cash you can win. The current take-home prize is $615,000. You can buy your ticket at 5050fortune.ca or text the word money to 59590, and we'll send the link right to your phone. 18 plus, please play responsibly. Standard message and data rates may apply. Lottery license RAF 1518410.
You just snuck that in too, eh?
What?
Oh, the read.
Yeah, well, I usually do it when we come back from break. We got our guests right away. I did after we got
No,
guests.
you usually forget.
No, I've been on fire. I've missed
You're
one.
red hot, baby.
I think I missed.
I'm complimenting
I
you.
forgot once ever, and now you're like all over me.
I think for sure you're going to change the jersey too by
Oh
the
my
time it goes
God.
That's
national.
coming.
Our show.
God, I'm all tanked up.
Carolina. Any last thoughts?
Yeah. I think Keandre Miller and Nick Ehlers were great ads for them.
Yeah.
They need to get. I think for the Leafs, best thing to happen for them is Freddie Anderson in net. Not because I think Freddie stinks, but he's struggling right now. He's had
The guy beside you thinks he stinks.
No, I mean, listen. What's the opposite of Mr. Game 7 we just had on the show?
Mr. Out in four.
Yeah, Mr. loses every Game 7. That's what Freddie Anderson was.
So
All right.
it ain't Game 7, but I do think he's struggling. I think that's nice for the Leafs, and I don't know. Got to get to him somehow.
I didn't even
Could use an upgrade
That was
maybe in that by the time March rolls around. There's something that's always holding them back to get to that next stage in the playoffs, as you said. Round 2, no problem, but conference final and Stanley Cup final, always out of reach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean this is the year where it looks like the way is attainable.
Just as a quick reminder, our guest we just had on there, in 9 career Game 7s played, record of 8-1 with 15 points, including 8 goals.
15 points, 8 goals.
No, sorry, 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points in Game 7s in his career. 8-1.
That is
Lee should say
staggering.
1 game contract this spring. Just put him on the bench.
Sign him and just keep him like a nuke or something.
Yeah, just put him out there for the last shift, see what happens.
Leafs can squeak one out here tonight, JB. It'll be tough. It'll be tough.
I'm not sitting here being confident that they'll do well tonight.
All right.
Now you feel
Look
like
for a
it's
point tonight. Find a way to get a
Ooh,
point.
even
Got
a
a
point
point.
would be nice.
Yeah.
Joseph Woll gets the start tonight. 924 save percentage since coming back.
He's been hot.
That's a good number. All right. Our thanks to Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams. Up next, when we go national, Pierre McGuire, Ray Ferraro. It is a
I
Whaler
didn't even think of that.
reunion.
I love it. I love it.
Don't go away. Welcome back in studio. It's the National Hour on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet. Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Pierre McGuire, former NHL coach and executive. Spent a year with Pierre in Hartford before he traded my ass away.
Interesting.
Yep.
You guys have made up, obviously?
Yeah. I forgive him for that because I did participate in a Stanley Cup.
It worked out okay for you in the end, eh?
It did okay. It did okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we'll go around the league with Pierre.
First time we've had him on, I think.
think so.
Maybe?
Yeah,
I think first time.
No. We've had him on before.
Really?
I do believe so.
It
Yeah.
must have been years ago. I don't remember.
No?
I don't think so. Maybe we have. I don't know.
think
We
we
talked
have.
to a lot of people.
Ray Ferraro, of course, ESPN. We've had him on before.
I didn't realize that. I didn't think of the Whalers connection until you brought
So,
it up.
listen, we briefly talked about this in our Leaf edition with Justin Williams, but, okay, the uniforms, going back
Mhm.
for present teams like Carolina and Colorado to put on a Hartford Whaler jersey
Yeah.
and a Quebec Nordique jersey, how does that make the people in Hartford and Quebec City feel?
It's a great question. Do you feel honored or do you feel ripped off? And I think it depends. I think probably mad. I think it probably makes them mad.
I just think it's it would strike a nerve.
It's like,
I think it would strike a nerve.
yeah. It's like if
Like,
someone
you're reminding me of something painful.
I
someone
hate it.
killed your best friend, then was wearing his jacket around. You'd be like, "This is not cool, man."
I hate
Take
it.
it
I don't know
off.
about murder, but
I hate it. I think that those are
you think it's disrespectful?
I do. I think it's two of the best jerseys of all time. And I'm not going to pretend to know the history of why they left Hartford or like what the Quebec City those are both fan bases that have a ton of
Money?
tradition. Yeah, I know for sure. But like a ton of tradition, and they love their teams. And I just think it's unfair that these other teams that just stole away their teams get to wear it. I don't love it. Although I like seeing them on the ice, it's beautiful. But if I was a fan of one of those teams, I would hate it.
I know Bunks. He was a Seattle Supersonics
Yeah,
fan or whatever.
yeah.
And it's like Oklahoma City can't wear those
No,
Seattle jerseys.
yeah. There's just, I mean, they do it in the NFL too, right? Like the Houston Texans wear the Oilers jerseys from. Oh no, it's the Tennessee Titans wear. There's a connection. So I don't know. I just think it's a little weird. It's not your jerseys.
But for the rest of us, pretty cool.
Although Carolina's Hurricanes jerseys suck. They've always sucked. So maybe it's a little better that they go to the.
But when you drop, like, I don't know what Tom Dundon paid at the time, maybe $300 or $400 million, you assume the jerseys come with it.
Well, they do. You bought all the furniture.
You bought everything.
Yeah, it's
Everything.
it's all your stuff now. So go ahead. Those Quebec Nordiques jerseys, though, look as good. And by the way, it does highlight what a tragedy all the black jerseys are in sports these days. Everyone's wearing black, and it's terrible. Colors look great.
Like, I mean, I do like the Blackhawks just went back to their black ones.
Yeah, and Dallas went back to their black ones, and everyone's got a black. Utah's all black.
Leafs got a black one.
Leafs got
And Leafs got a white one that I forgot to change.
I played in the last game in Quebec, the last game before they moved.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We knocked out the Quebec Nordique
You
in
ruined it?
95.
Wow.
And
it's
it
your
was the
fault.
last game ever. And we were nervous about leaving. We got pelted on the ice. I got like,
through poutine.
no, like
I didn't know where you were going with that one.
mustard packages. Like, I remember Brian Leach looking at me and go, "Did you throw up?" And I'm like, "No." It's like someone pelted me with mustard. It was like, and then they started shaking the bus on the way out.
No way.
Oh, yeah. It started rocking our bus. They were
But did they
so upset.
Did they know at that
it was
time
already done.
that it was
done.
over?
It was already done, and it was already announced that they're going to Colorado.
Whew, lucky you escaped.
Okay. In our first reunion guest, let's go to Pierre McGuire, former NHL coach, executive. Every once in a while, Pierre, I get to show these guys some video from Hartford, and it was usually a brawl against the Buffalo Sabres or the Flyers, and they're like looking at me like, God, you're such a Neanderthal. Remember those days?
I do, and you did very well in some of those brawls, Nick. So hats off to you. You were a delight to coach, and you worked hard every single day. What people don't know about you is what a great scorer you were up in North Bay in the Ontario Hockey League. Like,
No,
you
no,
shredded it.
Pierre. He makes sure people know.
Oh, okay. You got it, Justin. You got it. But anyways, no, Nick was a pleasure to work with. And it was a tough day when they got traded because we were trying to turn our team around. It ended up working out really well for Nick because he went to go on win a Stanley Cup in New York. But the rebuild in Hartford wasn't as easy as everybody thought. You know, there was a lot of work that had to be done there. And I got fired 2 years after I got hired there, and it took 5 years before they played a playoff game again. So that was 7 years of rebuilding.
You know, we just had Justin Williams on in our Leaf Edition hour, and he talked about, you know, Carolina and the work that they have to put in. Listen, we got a lot of teams like Carolina's or like. It's amazing how much work you got to put into your club to get it to a point where it can actually contend, Pierre? Because it's like, as much as we look at the Rangers and the Leafs and some of these organizations that can print money, you know, that's not the case for a lot of places, including what we experienced in Hartford.
I look at what's gone on in Florida with the Panthers in particular, Nick, just to address your question. It's been a fantastic job that Billy Zito and his staff have done there, because you think about all the empty seats for all those years. I mean, I was working at NBC. We'd go down there and cover some of their playoff games, and there weren't too many. But when we did, the building was half empty. I mean, what Billy Zito and all those guys have done in Florida is amazing. The same thing, if you remember, before Mr. Vinnick took over Tampa, you know, I know they had the Cup run in 04, but there was a lot of messy times after 04 to about 2011, 2012. And now they're back on it. But you're right. You're absolutely right. It's hard in a non-traditional hockey market to make it work. It really is.
Pierre, we've been, you know, we got you in our national hour here. And so we've been talking about our Canadian teams and how last year we had 5 in. Calgary had 96 points and was right on the fringes. This year, it's a little dicier. What do you make of the state of things right now? The Jets on the outside, Oilers outside, Leafs outside, a little perilous times here.
This is a huge night for Toronto, by the way. Nikki and you, Justin, are talking about Carolina. If Toronto goes into Carolina and wins tonight, I think they're back on it. I think we're going to be, you know, speaking more positively about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't know what's going on in Edmonton. The team defense is awful. Everybody's pointing at the goaltending, and I get it. I've talked about the goaltending for years there too, but the truth of the matter, Justin and Nick, and I think you guys both know it, this is more for the audience, their team defense isn't good enough, and their star players aren't buying into competing for team defense. And that's a big problem for them right now. For Vancouver, it's just not enough bodies. They're going to have to make some moves, obviously. Winnipeg, they really miss Hellebuck, and everybody knows they're a one-line team right now. So they're ganging up on what Scheifele does, what Kyle Connor does, what Gabe Velarde does. They had a big night last night in Montreal, that line, but, you know, they still lost the game. So, yeah, that's a problem. I really like what's going on in Montreal. I really like what's going on in Ottawa right now. And for, you know, the biggest thing in Calgary, I think everybody knows, they don't want to use the term, but I think you guys would agree that that's a rebuild that's going on there.
Right.
Last night, JB on our national show did the game Winnipeg and Montreal, and I know that you know, you've gone on. I think it was Tony and Lappy that you were on with the other day talking about the Montreal Canadiens, and I think you know, the culture in Montreal was discussed, and what I think the last couple of weeks have been like in Montreal, where the bar has been risen, no question about it. And if it doesn't get hit, they're starting to hear about it a lot more. But is it really just down to goaltending right now? Is the hiccup right now that we've seen in Montreal lately?
Nick, I think the biggest thing, and you know this from your playing days, there's not a lot of depth down the middle there, and some of the guys lost a bit of their identity. So you look, they need Jake Evans to play like Jake Evans played last night against Winnipeg. He has not been playing that way. They need Josh Anderson to play the way he played last night. He has not been playing that way. They're mostly a one-line team, a lot like what you see from Winnipeg when you got Caulfield and Suzuki, and now they've put Slavkovsky back on that line. It gets going, and they got, you know, a lot of good stuff happening. I don't think it's just the goaltending. And by the way, Nick, down the road, I can say this with a lot of comfort. Jacob Fowler is as good a prospect as I've seen, and I'm not kidding you, since Marty Brodeur. When Marty Brodeur was 16 years of age, I tried to recruit him to play for us at St. Lawrence University before I got to the National Hockey League, and I knew right then and there Brodeur was going to be great. And I've been watching Jacob Fowler since he's been 17. And they're so similar in terms of their approach to the game. And Montreal's got this kid ripping it up in the American League right now. in Laval. So long-term, their goaltending's okay. I don't think the goaltending's the biggest problem for that team right now. Their in-zone coverage isn't very good, and some of their guys have underachieved this year to start.
There was a lot of people in Montreal screaming for a call-up here in the last couple of weeks. Would you ever do something like that just to give them a taste, or it's just messing with development, Pierre?
Nicky, I think you know how important development is. So I thought after one game, maybe you give him a sniff because he doesn't require waivers to go back. But the truth of the matter is, I think he's perfectly situated where he is right now. Their team's extremely good in Laval. They're going to play a lot of big games, just like they did last year before they got eliminated by Charlotte in the semifinals of the Calder Cup run, which Charlotte obviously ended up losing to Abbotsford in an amazing Calder Cup final. But the truth is that Jacob Fowler is going to be special. He's going to be good for a long time, Nick and Justin. I wouldn't mess with his development. I'd keep him down there.
Pierre, what do you make of it? Feels like there's more trade rumors than ever and less trades happening. It feels like a lot of teams want something to happen, can't get it done. Is it just the wrong time of year? Or what do you make of this season and perhaps the Olympic break, its influence on why things are happening the way they are?
I think you're going to start seeing some movement. I think they're going to see some movement with some of those bottom feeders in the West right now. You know, you can see where Calgary is right now. You see where St. Louis is right now. A huge game for them tonight in Boston. You see where Nashville is and some of the higher profile players they have. Vancouver and what they're going to do potentially with Quinn Hughes. I think we're going to see the market start to shake open, Justin, sooner rather than later. To me, the biggest thing with all of this stuff is in the East. It's just, I don't think I've ever seen it this tight after U.S. Thanksgiving in 37 years. So it's going to be really interesting to see what shakes out. But the truth is that I do believe the market's going to start to move sooner rather than later.
You're watching and listening to Pierre McGuire, former NHL coach, executive broadcaster. Pierre, let's stay on Quinn Hughes for a second here. You know, most recently with Mitch Marner, they were fortunate enough to get Nick Waugh at least as something coming back for nothing. Are we past these top free agents? And I know it's still a year away for Quinn Hughes, but are teams way past now risking watching a guy like that leave for nothing? And if you are clear on his intentions, if you're fortunate enough to read the tea leaves, can we start hearing real noise about a trade involving Quinn Hughes?
It's going to be really important for Vancouver to get more than one team involved, whether that one team is New Jersey or Detroit. It's important to get two teams involved when you got a situation like a Quinn Hughes, because if you only have one team, then it doesn't augment the value of the player. You've got Brian Burke was so good at this when we were in Hartford. Brian was amazing at doing that and stretching the market and getting the most for players that he wanted to move out. And I think you really got to pay attention to that. If Jimmy Rutherford has got a lot of experience, and obviously Patrick Alvin in Vancouver, they've got to get at least two teams involved in this and create a marketplace where somebody's bidding against somebody else. You know what? Traditionally, I would say it would be amazing to think he wouldn't end up in New Jersey. But you look at Detroit in particular, and I've talked about this on other shows, the fact that it's close to home, the fact that his parents are there, the fact that they're an up-and-coming team, the fact that he's really comfortable with some of the people that are in the organization with University of Michigan ties like Dylan Larkin and JT Compher. You know, there's a lot there. So I think if they can get two teams and more involved, then I think eventually he gets moved and Vancouver's not going to get left holding the bag with nothing in it.
Pierre, we're looking for teams to get out of this pack you're talking about, so tightly, packed together. The tops of the divisions, there's a couple of good teams here. Colorado, Tampa, Washington, Carolina. Have any of these teams outside of Colorado, because I know Colorado is one, have they separated themselves from the pack, or is it just Colorado above the rest?
No, Dallas is coming. Dallas is playing really well, Justin. I mean, you got to look at it and what they've done. One of the big stats that I try to look at is goal differential. I look at it every morning. Colorado is a plus 50. Dallas is a plus 24. Washington's a plus 27 after their big win last night. Tampa's a plus 18 and Carolina's a plus 16. That's about it. And so there are a lot of teams that need to play catch up to get there. But I think that Dallas is a very real team. I'm surprised at how well Tampa's played with all the injuries they've had to deal with, especially on the back end without Hedman, without Chernak, without Ryan McDonough, and obviously up front without Braden Point. That's been substantial, Justin. And no, I think we're going to start to see some breakout, especially in the East. I think in the East there's going to be more breakout. But to say only one or two teams are good right now, I'd say that'd be a stretch. I think this is probably the most parity we've seen in a long time. And there's no lead pipe cinch to win the Stanley Cup this year. I really believe that.
Pierre, you and I were fortunate enough to experience the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. I know there's a few of our broadcasters are looking forward to one coming up in February. I also know you got your ear to the ground, whether it's the NHL office or what players are talking about or what you're hearing in the broadcast world. What do you make of the rink situation right now in Italy and whether or not this thing is truly touch and go on getting it ready and prepared for February?
The league office doesn't mess around. You know that in collective bargaining. They don't mess around. They play hardball. I'm shocked that this has happened and we're only finding out about it now. Somebody clearly dropped the ball, whether it was boots on the ground in Italy, whether it's somebody from the IIHF, whether it's somebody from the NHL office, somebody dropped the ball somewhere. This is unacceptable, truly is, which is unfortunate because who doesn't want to see, and Nick, you just touched on it so well. I think 2010 was amazing. I'll never forget calling that game with the great Chris Cuthbert and him calling the golden goal of Jerome McGinley to Sidney Crosby. And I was down there, and I'll never forget Sid screaming at the top of his lungs in a crazed building going, Iggy, Iggy, Iggy. And Jerome gets in the puck, and he puts it by Ryan Miller, and the whole place just explodes. That was a magical moment in Canadian history, not just athletic history, in Canadian history. And just to show you why it was, 26 million Canadians watched that game. It's the largest TV audience ever in Canadian sports or Canadian TV history. It shows you how much passion there was. But to think that the first time we could have NHL players back in the Olympics after 2014 would be in Milan, and this would happen, something wrong, something seriously wrong happened, and they got to try to fix this as soon as possible. But Nikki, I think you know as well as anybody, the league office doesn't mess around. If they say there's a potential for them not to go, they probably mean it.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I think a lot of people are awfully excited about the actual event, and I am too. How do you feel about the effect it's had on the schedule? Feels like maybe a few more injuries than some people would be comfortable with.
It's unbelievable. Justin, I can't believe the amount of injuries and what's gone on. And, you feel sorry. Before the season even starts, there's Sasha Barkov. He's been at 3 straight Stanley Cup final and obviously played in the Four Nation last year. And I think that Four Nation took a lot out of a lot of guys. Nobody really wants to talk about it, but the Tkachuk brothers in particular, Austin Matthews, look at some of the carnage that came out of that, to use a term from my great former partner, Doc Emmerich, when we worked together at NBC, used to call it the carnage factor. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I've never seen this many injuries in such a short period of time. And I got to tell you, and you would appreciate this, Justin, it's not just in the NHL or the AHL. It's happening in the East Coast League. It's happening in the NHL. It's happening all over. It's unbelievable, the amount of injuries that's going on around all of hockey this year at the professional level.
All right, one more for me, Pierre, and that is Connor Bedard, man. He is making a strong case. Is he on Pierre McGuire's Olympic team?
He's definitely in the discussion. So Macklin Celebrini and he are definitely in the discussion. Nikki, you might like this. I have Tom Wilson on the team. I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah,
but
I do.
Tom Wilson
Yeah, I got him as a lock.
Yeah, I got him as a lock as well, Nikki, especially if that rink is small and they decide to still go. That'll make a big difference. I think the biggest question is going to be is who's going to not be on the team from the Four Nations last year. And that'll be heartbreaking for a lot of those, especially the Canadian guys. I don't know if there'll be that much roster turmoil with Team USA or with the Finns or with the Swedes, but I could see some major roster turmoil with Team Canada.
Great stuff, Pierre. We really appreciate your time.
I love visiting with you, Nikki. Thanks a lot, Justin. Great talking to you. Hey, Justin, great job last night. You did a really good job on there last night.
Appreciate that, Pierre. Thanks for coming on today. Thanks for your time.
You got it. My pleasure.
Former NHL coach and executive Pierre McGuire. Just one more thought on the injuries. It's
You did do a great job last night.
Thanks, pal.
I was
Appreciate that.
locked
Yeah,
in.
great job. Great job.
I did doze a little bit in the second period, but I caught the intermissions. I
It
caught
was
the
a good
intermissions.
game.
It was a good game.
It was exciting.
It was a good game.
I like Lowry and Jack Ice squaring
How
off
much
at
you love
center
that?
ice. Yeah, it was
Players only meeting. He actually goes out there, throws a hit,
Yeah.
gets in a
Hammed
fight.
No, there were
Carry
two
it.
teams that looked desperate to win,
Yeah,
which is nice.
it was nice.
Just a little follow up
good
on
3-on-3 too.
just not the injuries, but like what is really crystal clear now more than ever is like we don't practice anymore.
No, that's very true.
We don't. Like it's not
can't.
even remotely like even Carolina. Like you guys mentioned off. I don't know either on or off the air that they haven't played since Sunday.
Yeah.
They got one practice and I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
They
Like,
don't. They
they
don't.
would've
I don't even think. No, they don't. You know what they do? They have video practice now.
yeah.
They go in and they look at tape. That is their practice. And I get playing every other night. I think the injuries are going to just get worse.
Well-
We haven't even hit, I think, peak crammed schedule yet.
And next year, they're adding 2 more games.
Oh, great.
84 game schedule next year, is it not?
like
Am I out of my mind here?
we watch
That's
teams.
the thing that's happening. You're
Yes.
right.
There's portions of a hockey game that you go, okay, yeah, you don't. You're right. You don't practice anymore.
It's funny though. To the average fan, I think it's like that means people mess up and there's more breakdowns, and that leads to chances, and they don't like it any less.
Yeah, but you still want to see 3 passes in a row.
That'd be really
Well,
good.
bring back the 2-line pass.
What?
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to do it.
It's like baseball. You just play.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I would have loved that. College hockey, you practice all week
Buddy, I'm
long. to
telling
get
you,
a
there's
couple of
sometimes when
matches in.
Like having a good practice. For me, anyways, it felt really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was usually sweating out the booze, so.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Junior hockey was great. Really good.
I really would have liked at least a couple of days knowing that Justin Bourne.
Yeah.
Just for a little
Yeah,
bit, right?
Listen,
For a
I'd love-
weekend.
I'd
Yeah, for a
love to-
weekend.
I'd love to give it to you.
Maybe
but,
don't introduce him to us now.
Yeah, it's too late. That man is dead.
What was I going to say? I had something I wanted to say, but I forgot. So,
Okay, cool.
do you want to do game time?
Sure.
So we can get the break and get
And then
to
you're going to
Ray?
remember what you said.
Yeah, we'll see. It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. What was it that you wanted me to look? Do you remember?
Leafs under shots.
That seems like it might be hard for me to look up quickly.
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it would be easy for somebody who knows how to do this, but I'm not the smartest guy on earth, so I'll have a look here. I'll start by telling you what the actual line of the hockey game is.
Okay.
Would you like to guess what the Leafs are as underdogs tonight?
Plus 140.
More.
Plus 160.
More.
Really?
They're plus 175 tonight.
Wow.
The Carolina Hurricanes are minus 210. So yeah, they're
First time
expecting.
I think I would bet on the Leafs.
Really?
I mean, it's a good number to get.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to come up with that right
Yeah,
off the
that's
top here, so I'm not going to be able to do that for you. That's okay. But yeah, so just to tell you, the Carolina Hurricanes minus 210, Toronto Maple Leafs, the desperate Toronto Maple Leafs going in there at the end of a road trip, plus 175. Some other good games on the ice tonight. Oilers back in action, going with Kelvin Pickard tonight against the Seattle Kraken. Somewhat of a surprising move to me. Stuart Skinner's actually had a couple good games in a row, but they're going to Pickard. They are big faves on home ice against the Kraken, minus 205. Kraken plus 170 on the money line. A little bit of value there for me, but, Oilers got to figure it out sometime.
Oilers
right?
got a story
Right?
here. They're going to get one.
Sometime. Yeah, they got to figure it out. And what other one did I wanted to bring up? Florida hosting the Nashville Predators. They are minus 185 favorites in that game. Surely that's one they got to win. And my Florida ticket guy texted me today. You can row 16 blue line tonight, cheaper than a tank of gas. So $36.
You have a Florida
15
ticket guy?
Yeah, the guy who I was talking about yesterday that texted me
Yeah.
about we were trying to get World Series tickets. We were desperate. Okay,
Yeah.
we were trying to find tickets to the World Series. Tickets nice and cheap tonight again in Florida, just like every other night. That was game time presented by Bet365. Visit
Game time?
What? That was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary.
Don't throw 'em
Bet365 must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Hey, don't throw a curveball in there.
What are the odds of Sammy throwing a cheap shot at Florida in his game time?
I'll throw him anywhere I can get him.
-300.
Yeah.
But they got to win tonight against Nashville.
Yeah, they'll be really well attended.
Nashville's got they've won 3 out of 4.
Those fans are desperate for a win. They're desperate for a win.
Those fans are super desperate.
Those fans
Oilers have to beat Seattle tonight.
have to.
Good Lord, yes.
They got to turn this thing around.
So-
we should have parlayed little Edmonton, Florida. They're both winning tonight.
So
Good,
that's
good
that's
parlay.
2 out of 3 games against Seattle. Against Seattle, it's an 8-point swing. You know, think about that.
Oh yeah,
Right?
A couple of wins there.
Couple wins.
How about Pierre saying that Fowler's the best prospect he's seen since Martin Brodeur?
That was an extremely
Yes.
confident delivery.
Yes,
of
that
that
is.
I mean, he's having a sick year in the minors. I had it here. Jacob Fowler has a 920 save percentage right now, a 215 goals against for the Laval Rocket.
Are they
in
Cam
13
Fowler
games played.
ties now?
I don't know. I don't know, but call him up. Dobish can't make a save. You know, Montembeau's been no good. Could this guy just be Canadian? Like, God, he's American too. It's
Is
like
he?
every goalie
That's
is not Canadian.
factory.
Anyways, we should go to get to Ray.
Okay. Take a quick break. Ray
Ford
Ferraro,
Ascaron.
ESPN hockey analyst. We continue on our Hartford Whaler hour on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show.
Alrighty.
As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. All right, let's not waste any time on our Hartford Whaler reunion tour. Let's welcome in Ray Ferraro, ESPN analyst, former NHLer. So we had Pierre McGuire on earlier.
Okay, yeah, he was after me.
Yes. No,
Yes.
before you.
No, he was in Hartford after me.
Yes, we weren't all together, of course, but you know, it's hey,
Did you guys play together?
work with me. We
No.
did in New York.
Well, in New York.
Oh, New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Ray still, to me, has one of the funniest lines ever in the history of the game for me.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, Dick Todd tried to pump us up with, our money segments. And,
Constant updates. Oh, if we keep him to 1 goal, we get another $350. It was pretty good. It was good money at the time. Anyway.
so anyways, Dick basically leaves, he's finishing his big, cheerleading thing with us. And he says, all right, boys, let's go out there, peckers in the air. And Ray turns around and he goes, you work your whole life to get to the NHL, and that's the help you get.
That's it right there.
I love sitting by the guy who immediately undercuts it, takes out the coach's knees when he leaves the room.
But the thing is, Kip didn't give you the context of it because it was right before a game. Like Coley Campbell's the coach. He gives us our spiel. Mike Murphy was the assistant. He gives us his spiel. And then Dick would give us an update on the bonuses.
Yes. Yes. And that's the only time we paid attention.
Hey, what did those other 2 guys say?
Exactly. How's your schedule? I think your last game was Toronto and Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And let's just start there, Ray. What did you see out of 2 teams that we had no idea would be in the standings at the bottom of the East Conference at this point of the season?
Well, I said during the game, like to refer to the Panthers as the 2-time Stanley Cup champions really is kind of, it's false. The only thing 2-time defending about them literally is their jerseys. I mean, like the game they played, they had 7 forwards out, 6 that are out every night. And then Verhaeghe was out with his wife was having a baby. And so they're literally trying to hang in there till they can get some of these guys back. Paul Murray said maybe 3 of them in a couple of weeks, and then another 3 of them a few weeks past that. That gets you kind of to the All-Star break or the Olympic break, and and then you hope that you're still within touch to make a playoff run. I mean, like that's kind of what their season is right now. I thought they play hard. They play as hard as they can, and that's what they are at this point. They're just decimated. The Leafs, I thought, played a pretty good road game. I really kind of liked their game. That new line, the third line, played really well together. For people that don't know, and Dakota Joshua very well. A couple of years ago, he had what was his big year, 17 or 18 goals in Vancouver. He started out as a healthy scratch. He went through camp. He wasn't in great shape, had a slow start, and Rick Tocchet sat him out. And it wasn't until after the scratch or a couple of scratches, that he started to play like he did last game, like where he skated, he's on the body. You see, he's got pretty nice hands when he gets around the net. That was a nice goal. And I was like, wow, that looks like the Joshua of a couple of years ago. Now, the start of last year, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and last year basically became a write-off for him. It was, fortunately he's healthy, but the year was a write-off. And I guess I thought he would have a better start, but that line really could be a weapon for them. I really, really like them. I think we've seen about as much of the 5-forward power play as we'll see. Now, you guys were both forwards. When you get back on the blue line, you remember when you had to cover for a D, you couldn't get out of there fast enough, at least me. I'm like, I hate it back here. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. And that's what I thought Matthews looked like up there. Like, I know they're going to, they made a change later in the game, and it just didn't seem to fit.
If I skated backwards 100 feet in my career, I'll be shocked.
Hey, terrifying. Hey,
I actually played the point in college on the power play, and I shot it into Mason Raymond shin pads, and he beat me up the ice by so many zones that they never put me back there again. He could have had 4 rebounds before I got back to him. That kid could skate.
The one I remember was I was back at the point covering up for somebody, and there was a loose puck. We were in Edmonton, and Coffey jumped it, right? So he starts skating out. So instantly I turn around forwards, and I'm sure it looked like we were in a skating race. We were both skating forwards the same way. I'm like, I can't turn around. Like, if I turn around, it's going to be like what an 8-year-old looks like going backwards. I hated it. And that's what he looked like, just uncomfortable, unsure. I thought they played a really good road game, but I mean, the holes there, guys, they're pretty obvious, aren't they? I mean, they're thin in that top 6. A lot of things have to go right for them if they're going to be as good a team as they hoped they were going to be at the start of the year.
Yeah.
You're watching and listening to Ray Ferraro, who does wonderful work with ESPN, also on SportsNet, covering the Vancouver Canucks. What do you make of the recent news about pretty much everybody's for sale except Quinn Hughes? Is that something that will work in their favor ultimately? Or is it just a scenario where you watch a fan base continually, feel frustrated, Ray?
Well, they're going to be frustrated because the inevitability of that is pretty evident right now. I mean, they came into the year and they knew they needed to add a centerman. They couldn't for whatever the reason was. And then in the same game, they lose 2 of their 4 centermen, Philip Hedl and Teddy Bluger. And so now you're in a full-out scramble to just field 4 NHL centermen. And it's easy to say, and I know it happens all the time, and it's become a pet peeve of mine, is when fans, maybe because they're just emotional and they don't understand, but they're like, why don't they just go get somebody? Who are you going to get? Like, who's available? Which general manager is going to say, here, take one of my centermen? It's just like the Leafs looking for another top 6 forward. Which team is going to say to Brad Treliving, hey, here's one of my top 6 forwards? So say you can identify somebody, now you've got to make a trade. And we see how difficult it is right now, especially since I think the byproduct of the cap going up is teams are not trapped anymore. Mm-hmm. They have room. They can hold on to players. They don't have to bury a player in a trade somewhere just to get some cap relief. So I think that's really hurt player movement. When they made the statement, I guess it was last week, the unrestricted free agents are, and if you're not a playoff team, across the league, teams try to unload those guys at the deadline. Right now, it's a stuck market. If you have guys available, maybe you can jump the market. Maybe you get a deal for a player that you were going to deal in March anyway, but you might get a good deal now because a team realizes, wait a minute, I'm one of 2 or 3 bidders right now. If this goes another 2 months, I might be in against 7 other teams. Mm-hmm. And so that becomes, you try to strengthen your prospect pool. Everybody loves to say, oh, rebuild, retool, whatever. But nobody wants to understand the pain that goes with it, the losses that come with it. There's a great saying, nobody cares about the labor pains. They just want to see the baby. And unfortunately, when you're retooling or rebuilding, there's going to be labor pains. And that's kind of where they are right now. They've got to get younger. They've got to get faster. You've got to try and develop a younger player base. And that doesn't happen overnight.
It's tough. Like right as the salary cap has gone up, some of the Canadian teams, like the Leafs, aren't going to be able to draft for a couple of years. And if you're no good, it's bleak, right? And so I'm kind of thinking Edmonton too here. They're another team who it's like, you have fans going, well, just get a goalie. Just get a goalie. And you go, okay, right. Who's the goalie? And you start, okay, who do they want? And you start trying to do the math, and it is a challenge. But maybe they, of all teams, need to get a little more desperate on that.
Well, I mean, look, they've gone as far as they can the last couple of years, and you fall 1 game short, and then 2 games short, and it almost feels to me like they're further away now than they were then.
Right.
And I guess if we go back to the start of 2 years ago, when Knobloch took over, they were further away than they are now because they fired their coach. And it's, but it would be, in my mind, a fool's game just to say, oh, you know what, it turned around 2 years in a row. It'll turn around this year as well. They're in a tricky spot because, the need is pretty obvious. I would say there's also a need on McDavid's wing. You've got they're trying a young Matt Savoy there. And I think he's done okay, but he's got 3 goals in 27 games. That you cannot have a guy with 3 goals playing with Connor McDavid. Not if you design yourself a Stanley Cup contender. So they sure go get aggressive. I agree, but with what? How many assets do you have? You start trading away first round picks as they have in the past, and the asset pool's pretty thin. And I believe that's where more than a few teams find themselves, is they can identify the need, but they don't have the assets to interest somebody else. I've said this, and I've become, it's become almost a standard line. If the fans and the media can identify a need, probably the management has noticed. They've probably figured out, oh, this is not good enough. Now they got to go make it happen. And it more and more, I think, becomes harder and harder to find players. When they're talking about adding 2 teams, where are the players coming from?
Get your skates out.
Hey, right. Hey, you know what? If there was, same as when I played, if there was no back checking and I wasn't too small, I could really do something. I think this could be the time.
As long as they don't do anything in Edmonton, and you continue to put the weight of the world on McDavid and Draisaitl, and we've got this compressed schedule, and we've got the Olympics that is going to put a ton of weight again on McDavid's shoulders here. Is there a real concern on what's going to be left here out of McDavid when it comes to March and April after 3 consecutive years of trying to get to a Stanley Cup final?
Kip, I think that gets overlooked, is the cumulative wear and tear on these guys. Florida, I think, I'm going to have this number wrong. The game against Toronto the other night was their 340th in the last 3 years.
Good Lord.
Oh, really? They got a bunch of injuries? Of course they do. Of course they're banged up. The number might be a little lower, 320, something like that. But it's like McDavid's playing 22, 23 minutes a night on average over hundreds and hundreds of games. And I don't see how it doesn't take a toll. Here's one other thing to consider. So say you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to blow out some assets here because I need a goalie, or this team needs a defenseman. You're in the West. I guess everybody's probably noticed Colorado's record so far. Yeah. Do you have enough even if you add something, are you going to be able to beat Colorado? Like, are you going to be able to hang with them? Right now, they look like Boston a couple of years ago in the regular season when Boston had 132 points. Now, they lost in the first round, but man, they look like they could never lose. Colorado looks like they'll never lose again. Of course they will, but man, that would be a tough spot for a manager too.
Colorado could legitimately beat teams before they even play them in playoffs. Just have them go, we're not going to try to compete with that. Well, we're not adding at the deadline.
How fast do they look?
It's crazy.
Like
McKinnon's plus 30 something.
I saw. I think his goals for and against 5-on-5 are like 37. Changed the way the team felt about themselves. They got better goaltending than they had. So I really look at them and I'm like, man, I think that's the spot where you look at your team. You're a good team. Okay, I'm going to be pretty aggressive here. Now, they didn't give up a whole bunch of assets, but man, it was an aggressive move. You know who else has done a great job? And, if you're going in the East, you're going to have to get through Washington somewhere. They've straddled this line about staying relevant with Ovi and getting younger and drafting well. And they've got some monsters on that team. Huge guys. And then, last night, Ryan Leonard gets 2 goals. Like
there's a lot of room out there for Ryan these days.
Oh my gosh. How'd you like to stand and skate in the shadow of Alexei Protas?
Yeah.
The guy's as big as a refrigerator. He's a monster.
Leonard had some quote where he's like, he's the best player in the league, talking about Protas. He was like, I tell him every day he's the best player in the league.
Just believe it.
Last one for me, we've talked Olympics every single day, talked Canada every single day. I think a lot of people thought that Connor Bedard wasn't ready, wasn't going to be there. These young kids are making a push. He had a game the other day where I just felt like I finally went, you can't leave him at home. Where are you on that?
I was Celebrini, yes. Bedard, no, for sure.
Yep.
I know over the course of this season, I'm starting to look at their ages less and less.
Yeah. Because
these kids come into the league, they're not scared. They're well seasoned, if that's possible at their age. I think they are capable. Here's the other thing, and why I would really strongly consider Bedard. So you've got 14 forwards on the roster. They don't all have to play. So let's say you picked him as forward 14 and everything goes great and you don't need to use him. Well, then you weren't going to use whoever the other guy was either. I would be worried about taking a player of lesser abilities and then run into a scoring drought.
Right.
And then you're like, well, we can't really score. But what if you could drop your 14th forward in and he could play on the power play? He is, I think that part of his game that has changed the most for me is he used to be an independent contractor out there. Like he kind of had to do everything himself and we never saw his playmaking so much. It was always, go down as far as you can and shoot it with that great shot. But now he seems like the ice is opened up for him. Maybe it's slowed down for him. He makes great plays, great passes. He's a very good passer. His shot, is exceptional. I'm thinking we'll all end up arguing about the last 4 or 5 forwards and the last 2 defensemen. Everybody else is probably pretty much a lock to get in there. But I would add my tail end of my roster would be skill. I think it's going to matter. I think there's a potential that you're going to need somebody to drop in and maybe give you a boost offensively. What I don't think matters, and because we'll probably not get to it, is the rink that's 3 feet too short. Like, who cares? Like it's not like it's 17 feet; it's 3, and you got to hand it to my Italian brethren. Like, one of the most famous buildings in our country, our homeland, is slanted, right? and so now we got a rink that's 3 feet too short. Come on, fellas.
Exactly.
Do we not know metric and imperial by this time? Come on.
Awesome stuff, Ray. Really appreciate it. And, by the way, great job on those national commercials there, pal. Yeah.
Thank
great.
you. You know what, Kip? You should look into Kintech. You should
Yes.
look into some support. I see you don't check your phone in the breaks because I sent you a picture.
Did you?
Yes. And you'll take a look at the picture.
I will.
There could be some support needed for you too.
I will for sure, man. For sure. Just one favor though. If I got to stare at your bare feet, can you run the commercials after I've had dinner? Is that okay?
Hey, you know what? And it was the summer too. I don't know. Sometimes
your feet were never looking better than that.
that's the best I got. Right out of the golf shoes and into the commercial.
Great stuff, man. Thanks for joining us, Ray.
We'll talk soon, guys. Be well.
Ray
We'll
Ferraro.
talk to you before the holidays. Merry Christmas.
One of the
You
good
too.
ones.
Thanks for your time, man.
All right.
Take care.
Good stuff.
The dogs.
The dogs. Boy, you have to.
I get a great golf.
No
tan
one
on
would
my
ever
feet.
want to look at my feet.
No, it's
Ever.
My kids are just like aghast at what's happening there. It's like, what's happening? Long second toes.
Mine aren't
curled.
too bad.
Mine are a mess.
Mine aren't too bad.
Hockey's
People say
not
I have.
good
People
on
say I have dancer's feet. Yeah, got a nice
Dancer's
arch.
feet.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that, pal.
Wanna
I
see
got
it?
Are you
some
a
things to
flip flop
say.
guy?
Oh, no Croc guy.
Croc guy.
I love Crocs. Crocs through and through. But I've actually gone now to the holeless Crocs, so they're like clogs, but they're Crocs. But anyways,
So Matt Marstrom, our producer over at SportsNet, says to me, ask Pierre McGuire about the comeback story.
Yeah.
Did you get that too?
Well, yeah.
So we're in Hartford. We're getting filled in by the Montreal Canadiens after 2 periods. Paul Holmgren's just ripping us in between periods, and Pierre's the assistant coach, the associate coach, and there's good cop, bad cop, and you know what he's supposed to do is after we've been ripped open, he's got to come in and be positive. So he's like, okay, we're down 4-0.
The wound.
Here's the game plan. We're going to score a goal every 5 minutes, and we're going to win it in overtime. So sure enough, we bounce one off our ass 2 minutes in, and we're down 4-1, and Pierre's so excited that he's running up and down the bench going, boys, we're way ahead of schedule. And I turn around and I say to Pierre, you want me to rag the puck? You want me to kill the clock, get us back on schedule?
that's funny.
Oh man,
That's funny.
4-1,
Hey,
and we're somehow way ahead of schedule.
I do love.
That was fun. We had a few laughs.
I'll say nothing. I don't think I enjoyed anything more than the camaraderie of being the guys and weighing in on your coaching staff in private or on the bus. Or
Guys
whatever.
would never do that.
You know,
like in the back of an
but that's
Uber
probably
or
the hardest
something.
part of coaching is that you know what happens and you just have to not care. But
Coaching and goalies, probably.
But I don't even know why we have assistant coaches anymore. Just go to your laptop. That's the assistant coach now. Go get your laptop and watch whatever you need to watch.
That is an old guy take.
Get rid of those
Get one of
things.
those spreadsheets going.
Hey, get rid of the laptops on the bench,
they're probably
please.
watching on their Nintendo.
Yeah, on their
I'm the
Facebooks or
dinosaur.
whatever.
Our thanks to Pierre McGuire and Ray Ferraro. Justin Williams in our first hour. Whole slew of games. Pick yours. And we're back tomorrow. Off the Rails Friday.
No Justin Gordy in tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yep.
Bringing in the lefty.
Yep.
Stellectricity.
Yes.
Have a great night, everybody.
Patron Tequila.
Dear Grandpa, today I finished another drawing for you. It's you wrestling a giraffe. We won our soccer game today.